Okay, before I actually put this video up, I decided to record myself with a bit of a disclaimer. I know how old this review is. This is the review of That Sinking Feeling. And I know we are way beyond that. We are now on Mount Rushmore right now. So, and I guess that's what it's called. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't been watching that much Andi Mack because it's the same old shtick time and time again. From my countdown that I did the 10 things that I hate about Andi Mack, they're still doing at least 4 things on that list. One of them, the biggest one, is drama for the sake of drama. And another big issue that I've had is Andi doesn't learn anything. It bothers me to no end. There's more growth with the adults than there is with the kids. Most of the stuff that I've already argued about on my list, they're still doing. And it just doesn't make me feel like I need to watch it and review it and talk about it anymore. But I have done reviews on this. I have done at least 3. I did do the first one, The Boys Are Back, and I tried to upload it, but it just wouldn't upload. And then I was about to just 86 them all together, and I actually did erase that review. So that review is not going to be coming. But the ones that I've already done, That Sinking Feeling, Hole in the Wall, and I think the Moon Festival one, I actually did do reviews on those. So I will be putting those up. But the only time that I'm going to be doing a review on Andi Mack from now on is when the season's over. And I mean the finale. I doubt it'll be a season 4. When the season 3 finale finally comes, I'm probably going to do a review on that because it'll be completely kaputski. But at this point, I just don't feel motivated in actually doing a review on every episode. But since I actually put the time and effort into making 3 of them, I'm going to put those up. So enjoy those. So the next time you hear from me when it comes to Andi Mack will definitely be when Andi Mack is over. But now that that's all said and done, here's my review on That Sinking Feeling. Before I get started with this review, I want to wish all the veterans out there a happy Veterans Day. There is so much that you guys have done for us when it comes to protecting our freedoms, fighting on our behalf. You guys really do need to be appreciated, and I'm hoping that you are on this Veterans Day. Because I don't want to say that you earned it, because that sounds a bit facetious, but thank you. Guys, this episode was really all over the place, and I'm going to really do my best to try to narrow it down as much as I can. And what I mean by all over the place is not so much the plot itself, it's the fact that we had 3 plots in one episode. And these 2 subplots could have been their own episode by themselves, but I really feel like this was all crammed in, so I'm going to get the subplots out of the way. The first subplot that I'm going to talk about, of course, is Bex and the cakes. Cece is adamant in trying to be involved in making this wedding happen her way. So of course she's kind of trying to force Bex to pick cakes, and she actually put the responsibility on her to do. And of course Cece invited Andi to start doing it, to start cake testing so they can pick a cake. And of course it led for them arguing, and then Bex actually did a blind choice of which one that she wanted to get, and she ended up picking Andi's blindly. But then towards the end of the episode, when she wanted a snack, she tried both of the cakes and she liked Cece's better. So this is gonna probably end in drama again for a few episodes down the line. But that was a minor subplot compared to a lot of development in the second subplot. Now this should have been an episode by itself. Now this is when Bowie is actually starting to become a music teacher, and of course he wanted to teach a kid that really was bad, but it was for good reason, because he did not want to do it. But we as an audience have already seen this coming. We saw that this kid was not into it at all, and of course I thought it was kind of funny how he was questioning the actual title of Smoke on the Water, even though Smoke on the Water is one of my favorite rock songs. He was trying, is it talking about fog? I'm like, probably not, but let's not talk about the definition, shall we? But I thought that was actually pretty cute. But seeing how Bowie is actually evolving as a character is a real treat for me. I am a sucker for character development, and it is nice to see some evolution in his character, especially how at the beginning of season 1 he was an unknown that was Andy's dad but never knew he was Andy's dad, going from being a dad, from being a plant guy, actually being in a plant shop and running it, and then of course Miranda and Bex, I'm not getting to that, going from being a plant guy to being in a record store, and actually going from a record store from being a rocker for 6 months, then go from being a rocker to a music teacher. And also he's gonna be a family man soon. He's gonna be married soon. There's so much evolution with Bowie. I absolutely love it. But then in this episode, and I actually did like the fact that both him and he went to Bex for advice. I thought that was really cute, and even though she was kind of doing his hair in pigtails, that was even funnier. But at the end of the day, he went to her for advice, and he wanted to actually teach somebody that was teachable, that actually already had the talent, and all he had to do was just show them how to use it. When it came to Jonah, it was easy for him to actually teach him because Jonah had a gift. Jonah had a talent. But with this kid, it was really difficult for him and a challenge for him to teach him how to play, and he wanted something easy, but he wasn't expecting a challenge out of this kid. But it was for good reason, because this kid did not want to play at all. But as a teacher, that's something that you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to develop, I'm not gonna say a sixth sense, but you're gonna have to be a lot more observant when it comes to your students. Every good teacher is. They observe the best in their students and bring it out more, and they also observe what's making their student become the worst and try to find out what's making them bad to try to make them better, or at least come up with a solution on why they're this way. Now, Bowie hasn't really developed that talent yet, but I do believe that he is going to develop it as time goes on. With this kid, he was kind of down on himself because he didn't really think that he was a good teacher because he couldn't teach him like he taught Jonah. But then it just a huge revelation coming out of the kid saying that he did not want to play at all. Like he just really wasn't interested. His dad was more interested in playing the guitar than he was. And he didn't really want to tell him because he didn't want to hurt his feelings. But honestly, I like the fact that towards the very end, the dad ended up being taught by Bowie to learn how to play the electric guitar. And the kid was happy to see his dad be that way, even though, like I said, I thought it was hilarious how the kid was questioning smoke on the water. I'm like, yeah, you're probably like me. You're an analytical nerd. Probably. And I'm an analytical nerd. But despite all that, I really did like the evolution of Bowie. I thought it was really great. Even though the dad was a total dork, but we can kind of expect total dorkiness out of dads these days. I mean, I thought it was cute in a small way. But getting the subplots out the way now, let's talk about the main plot. Now, throughout the previous episodes, we have seen that Andy is feeling like a fifth wheel. Not a third wheel, a fifth wheel. And I don't blame her. The fact that she's no longer with Jonah and her ex is hanging out with her friends doesn't really feel awkward to her because she really doesn't care unless he moves on with somebody else, which was mentioned in the previous episode, which I have done a review on, but it's not up yet. But I digress. The fact is that everybody else was out on a kayak in the well, not kayak, but out on the canoe in the water, and she was like sitting on the side making a crown out of flowers and putting on her head. And then here comes Amber. Now, the one thing that Amber has brought up is a term that I never thought that anybody has used or will ever use again, but I guess people actually do use that, and it's the term girl code. Girl code is literally a code of conduct for girls to follow to prevent themselves from being excommunicated from the girl community. Now, that's not the definition verbatim, mind you. I am gonna the definition is actually on screen, but that's pretty much the girl codes that girls have to follow, that all girls should know. And I'm gonna be real with you, I did not know all 31. But I will tell you one code. If we had to follow girl code to the letter and a judgment basis, I have to say that Buffy did violate girl code. Now, in my previous episode, when Walker was introduced, I really didn't think that Walker and Buffy did anything wrong because I felt like that Buffy and that Andy and Walker were not a legit couple. But it leads to the second clause of girl code number 5. That was a violation of girl code. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but This is code number 5. You are never in any case to date a friend's ex or a guy who she's really into. With an exception if he's one of those guys who every girl likes. We know that that's not an exception with Walker, but we do know that Andy is really into Walker still. So did Buffy violate girl code? According to this, she did. She did. And at the end of the episode, I thought it was pretty clever. They went by the entire term of what girl code really is. The code of guidelines that girls must obey in order not to get kicked out of the community. There you go, right there. But despite all that, yeah, that's pretty much what it is, man. That is absolutely what it is. And that is how they ended the episode. And I thought that it was pretty clever how they ended it, because Buffy did violate it. And did she not see this coming? I mean, we did. We knew that there was going to be drama down the line, and that is entirely what happened. That Buffy violated girl code. Her friends, well, Andy has pretty much kind of excommunicated herself from her. It was something, but honestly, it doesn't seem like it's more like hard feelings. It just seemed like she found, I don't know, she found camaraderie and fellowship in somebody else who's been scored. But let's be honest here. We know how backstabby Amber can be if you violate anything that is hers. If you take something away from her, she's going to make sure you pay. We know this from previous episodes. And for some reason, Andy is not learning her lesson here. But she's going to have to learn it again, because we remember what happened with them on the Ferris wheel. But I digress. The fact that Andy has found camaraderie with Amber does make it a bit more interesting, but I like the fact that girl code was mentioned and how girl code ended the episode. That Andy took herself out of the community, which was her friends Jonah, Walker, Buffy, and Cyrus. She kind of took herself out of the situation. Well, not really so much Jonah, but she took herself out of the situation when it came to Walker, Buffy, and Cyrus, because they didn't really invite her anyway. So in a way, we kind of knew this was coming, y'all. But at the end of the day, my thought of this episode was this. I enjoyed it. I really thought it was great. I absolutely thought that how they ended it was very clever when it came to the definition of girl code. And this is something that Andy is going to have to learn, because Andy is hurt. And the fact that Cyrus knows about it still bothers me. And I really do think that Walker is a bit cavalier when it comes to Andy's feelings. The fact that not only did he use her image in a art contest and won first place, and then, yeah, he made her some shoes and all that, but he's absolutely fine by dating her best friend. Not any awkwardness at all. Which makes me wonder if he was ever feeling her in the first place. But he liked her, but he just didn't like her. I don't know. But honestly, it seems like the fact that she's more upset with Buffy for dating somebody that she likes, even though she didn't really come clean to say that she really likes Walker. But then also the fact that Walker is really kind of nonchalant about the whole thing. But despite all that, y'all, like I said, I really like this episode, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen next in the next episode. But let me know how you feel about this episode, and I said episode about 1,000 times. Let me know how you feel about this. Leave in the comments below. Let me know how you feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.